Hi, I'm back. So yeah, just come back from a ride with the IM. We went out. I think we left here about 8:30 this morning. So just an update after living with the bike for a week with the Scottoiler. I should point out all of this is actually just from today's ride. It's been clean up until now. Quite a bit of fling there, but as I said originally, it is a lost oil system. And a bit up there as well. I'm being brutally honest with it. So maybe I do need to readjust settings. I don't know. But today's ride was a variety again, a mixed variety of sort of dual carriageway, dirt, sort of dusty dirt tracks and things like that, and sort of A roads and B roads and whatnot. I think the really important thing is, to look at the sort of conditions of the chain. So first of all, let's have a look at the wheel. So obviously there is splatter on the wheel, you can see that. So take that off again. That's the rim. That's the condition of the rim in terms of... I might add, there's nothing on the actual tyre. I mean, obviously I bought this tyre last week, and there's no oil on that tyre at all. And this is just on the rim from fling off from the Scottoiler. Now, I should point out, and I'm going to be fair, that when I lubricate my chain manually, normally it doesn't look necessarily as bad as this. However, what I do have an issue with when I come back from these long rides is the actual chain itself. So this is my fiance's Suzuki Gladius. I have done 200 miles today with her on the back. We were riding together on the Versus. This is her bike. Needs a bit of a clean, but the chain itself, if you look at the so that's the condition of her chain with normal lubricant. Okay. This is the condition of my chain after a 200-mile ride. I haven't even cleaned it yet, and that is the oil on it. This one is chain lube, this one is Scottoiler oil. This looks much healthier. The actual condition of the chain looks much healthier. I also noticed as well, when I was actually riding, that the chain, although needs a little bit of adjustment at the moment, bear in mind it's not entirely accurate. I've had this chain on this bike for a year before conducting this experiment, so it could be that the chain is just starting to wear down. But nevertheless, it needs a little adjustment now. But it didn't hinder my ride, which normally after a long ride with the IM, I'm normally at the end of the ride feeling that my chain is too slack, even though it's correctly tensioned before I go out, as I mentioned previously, finding that actually that the chain's way too slack by the time I get back, and then you've got a problem with it sort of being horrible to ride, juddery in the corners, not able to keep a good line through the corner and things like that. So yes, I'm kind of conducting this test slightly unfairly because the chain isn't brand new, and therefore chances are it is going to heat and stretch a bit more. But the condition of the chain overall is a hell of a lot better than what it normally is when I come back from these rides. And yeah, okay, the bike needs a bit of a clean. It's got a bit of oil over it and things, but that is nothing that maybe 10 minutes with a bucket of water. In fact, I'll just wash it down with a hose, and that won't cure. And to be perfectly honest with you, when I come back off these rides, my rim and bike needs a wash anyway. I always wash it straight after these rides to get any grime and dirt off the bike, and to re-lubricate the chain, clean it and re-lubricate it anyway. but the condition of the chain overall is a hell of a lot better than normal. So much better, healthier. So I'm really chuffed with that. Obviously, I'll keep the review going. I may even just readjust the settings the next time I go out. I think there's another ride in 2 weeks' time. Another sort of longish ride with the group. So, on a side note, anyone who's thinking of doing your IAM, definitely do it. So worth it. I passed mine last year. And it makes you so much safer on the road. So if you are thinking about it, just as a heads up, I would seriously go and do it. You get a lot of training, and there's a good social element to it, and there's holidays and things that they do depending on what areas you're in and things like that, and sort of biking holidays. But ultimately, it's phenomenal training. It's really good, fantastic training. So I really recommend you do that if you're looking into it. But nevertheless, as I say, I will keep the Scottoiler review going, and I'll give you an update shortly.